Scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott and I am back with our doodling layout. This is the layout that I'm talking about. You can find that on my Pinterest boards. You can also find that at getitscrapped.com in the gallery. And it's a layout that was done by Ronnie in Texas. And the first thing you're going to need is either a white or a cream or a craft background, something light that you can write on. So you need that as your background paper. So this is what I'm going to be using. It's a scenic route paper from, I got this from a scrapbooking yard sale. It was 10 cents. I was so happy about that. It was designed by Sarah Milne for scenic route, and it's from a while ago. I mean, the scenic route hasn't been around in a while, so we miss them. But I think I would guess she's probably designing for somebody else now. I don't know. It's just a guess, but I bet you she is. But I really liked everything Scenic Route had to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay some pattern paper down in a column. See, we've got this column going down the side. So I just pulled a few random scraps, and I'm just going to try to fit them into that space. So I'm going to use scraps instead of, she used one piece of paper, but I think I want to use just a couple of different things. So I'm going to rip this and put this one kind of underneath over this way, and then I'll put this one, kind of going like this. So because I like to pick it and stick it, I am going to go ahead and stick that down, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to use a permanent-ish, ooh, sorry about that sound. This is a very aggressive adhesive. It's Doris Permanent, and it means business. So you want to do something like this. Ugh. Sorry about that horrible noise. Blah. I'm running low on adhesive, so I need to stock up. I actually put in an order on my Amazon the other day. Oh, come on. Okay, so I'm adhesively challenged. Or maybe it's the end of the roll. I think it's the end of the roll. Yep. That's the end of the line, people. Let's use another one. Here we go. So this was going to go up here, I think. And I've just placed the adhesive along the inside, like the middle of the pattern paper, so that way if I want to do some layering, I can still pick up the edges and it will be just fine. So let's have this go like this. And the next thing I want to do is probably choose my photos. So my layout is actually going to be a little bit different than hers. She didn't have this running through the whole paper, and she also used smaller photos. So I think her strip was just like a little block at the bottom and a little block at the top, and then she's got 3 blocks of photos, or 3 photos. But I want to use some 4x6 photos, and I think these are the 2 that I'm going to use. And I think that's how I want to use them. I could cut both of these down. I think I'm just going to trim them down just a little bit. So I'm not really going to make them totally into squares, but I'm going to cut my 4x6s down to like 4x5s. Kind of like that. So they're approximately 4x5s. So I want them to look about like that. Those are 2 photos of my daughter in the car. We live in a place where we drive the kids back to and from school. So she's got her photos matted, and then she's used some washi. So I'm going to do that. I just want some white scrap paper. And I think I'm actually going to use, I have an old book in my, this is like my little scrap bin. And I have an old book that's kind of ripped up into here. I think I might use the old book as the mat for those photos. Okay. So I'm just going to, okay. So I want the text to kind of show all the way around. So I'm going to make these photos just a little bit thinner. So instead of 4, they're going to be about 3.5. So they're going to end up being 3.5 by 5 photos. There we go. I don't think I got that perfectly squared, but that's fine. And so that my eyes don't focus on the text on these photos, or on the paper, book paper, what I want to do is I'm using the book paper kind of upside down so that we focus on her. And then I'm just using my page trimmer off camera. And someone asked about where did I get my guillotine cutter. I got it at Office Depot, but I got it a long time ago. So there's one of the mats. And then I just want to do that again. And this one I actually started, I use these when I use stencils or color letters or something like that. I don't think I actually want to use that though. I'll use this. So I just got finished tuning into a chat that Noelle Hyman had on Google Plus or Google. I don't think I trimmed that very well. Let's just trim that up a little bit more. But I'm gonna sit down and just cut these so there's a little less on the top and the bottom. Okay, so here we go. I kind of like this arrangement. This is different than what Ronnie did. So when you scrap lift, it's sometimes you can get very, you can go very precise. And other times it's good to use a little license. So use your sketch or your scrap lift inspiration as kind of a jumping off point, so that you can add to, do it your way. Not like McDonald's. But you want some of you to come through. And sometimes I feel like I don't really have my own scrapbooking style, that I kind of jump around all over the place. But someone commented to me, I think it was Lady Doc, and she said, you don't think you have a style, but you actually do, and everyone does. And it's just that sometimes it takes somebody else to kind of recognize it for you, I think. Okay, next up. Let's see. Next up is there's a line, like a doodling line that goes all the way around the whole page. And do you see it? It's kind of like, it's definitely handwritten. So I'm actually going to use a combination of pencils and Sharpies. So let me get a Sharpie out. And I have a colored pencil drawer. I also have a markers drawer, and that also contains Copics. But for this project, I just want to use your basic fine tip Sharpie. So there we go. So now I'm going to do the line around the edge of the page. And I'm kind of intentionally making it not so straight. I probably could have done it with my left hand. So there's, and I almost want to do a double line, but in a different Sharpie color. So I'm just going to pick a brown Sharpie. I had a, just looking to see if I have a light gray. I have a purple, but I don't really think that's, well, let's try it. Why not? Just something a little bit different. So I'm basically going over the line that I just drew, but I'm trying not to go over it like exactly. So that's what that looks like so far. And then next up, she has a title right here with some letter stickers, and I think her page was a digital page. And so I'm not quite sure what my title is yet. So, I don't know. So let's see. She's also got like some writing that almost goes over. This is harder than it looks, people. Okay. Another thing that's going on her layout is she's got some kind of splotches around the edge of the page. So those I see here, here, and here. So let's see what we can do about making some splotches. I'm not really sure. So instead of doing it right onto my page, let's just do it on a scratch paper first. One idea is using like a watercolor pencil. Let me see. That's not it. Okay, this isn't the right color. But say I wanted to make a splotch. And then I've just kind of licked my finger. And that's not going to give me the look that I want. Let me just try that again with, this is a black. And this is a watercolor pencil. Sorta. That kind of works. Let's do that. So I'm going to make this one kind of go off the page a little bit. And then all of these are kind of going off the page a little bit. Sorry about that. My son's downstairs and I can hear him listening to the TV really loud. I might go in a minute and then come back because I know he wanted to. So this one I'm just going to make kind of a splotch right there that goes over a couple of those layers. And then we've got maybe another little splotch right here. And I think I'm good with 4. And I know it isn't really good to do things in 4s, so we're breaking the rules. And this was part of, I think she did this as part of Masterful Scrapbook Design has Breaking the Rules Scrapbooking this month. I'm just using my fingers and spit. And so it looks a little less sketchy than I wanted it to. So I'm going to put a few lines right over there. Let's do this again. But part of the breaking the rules is to, like, if there's a rule of 3, to, you know, and kind of intentionally break that rule and use an even number of embellishments. And why are we doing this? Because it's fun. And because it's good to play creatively. It really is. So here we go. So I've splotched it I've used this watercolor pencil. This is a Rexel Derwent watercolor pencil. It's from England. And I just used, just kind of licked my finger, moved it around. Okay, so I have some splotches. I don't have quite so many as she does. What I really think needs to happen is some of the dripping from the mist, like a mister. And so I'm not especially good at it, but let's just try a little bit of that. So I'm putting down some mats, and where I'm going to plan to do it is here and here, and then maybe a little bit there and there. We'll see. I'm not very good at the splotching. It's a technique I've been trying to learn, but I don't feel super confident doing it yet. I'm also always afraid I'm going to make a big, huge mess. And I guess that comes from when I used a scrapbook when the kids were little, and they'd be like, if they would see me get the paint out, they'd be like, oh, let's paint. That sounds like fun. And it sounds like fun, except it's always like mom who's doing all the cleanup, right? So here's just some of those splatters. Is that what are we calling these? I'm getting a little bit better at it. Oh, I don't want to get her face. So let's just cover up her face with these little masks. So I don't know if there's like a technical term for this splattering technique where you take the mist and then you use the little dropper. The first time I saw it was, so I'm going to put a little bit of it here too, is Shamel Lane has a video about scrapbooking where she mentions that's her kind of favorite, one of her favorite techniques. Okay, so that was the Maya Mist, turquoise metallic, because I only have 2 mists. I probably need to I don't need to, but if I were to add something to my scrapbooking supplies, it would probably be another couple bottles of mists, because I don't really have mists. Oh, I still did get a little bit on my photos. Whoops. Oh well, that's okay. So let's see what's next. While I let this dry a little bit, let me think about my title. So my title could be obviously just 4th grade. Another thing to do would be, instead of doing my title first, I could start doing the, what do you call it? The journaling first, but I don't really, and so a couple of things that are coming to me is that my daughter switched schools this year. She's really thriving at the new school. She loves her friends. She's really loved reading. So let me look up, I think what I want to do is look up a quote, and I'm going to get onto Pinterest, and I'm going to get it offline here, or on my other computer, so you really can't see what I'm doing. But I'm doing reader quotes on Pinterest, and one is Life is a Book, and there's 1,000 pages I have not yet read. No tears in the writer, no tears in the reader. Surprise the writer, no surprise the reader. No 2 persons ever read the same book. No 2 persons ever read the same book. Someone should write a book where the main character slowly falls in love with the reader. I was born with a reading list I will never finish. A reader doesn't really see the characters in a story, he feels them. Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers. I like that. A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. A man who never reads lives only one. I like that one. The best stories don't come from good and bad, but good versus good. Show me a family of readers, and I'll show you people who move the world. Choose higher ground. Throw away your TV, and in its place put a lovely bookcase. If one cannot enjoy reading a book over and over again. There's no use reading it at all. Children are made readers in the laps of their parents. You don't have to burn books to destroy a culture. Just get people to stop reading them. I think I'm going to do A Reader Lives 1,000 Lives Before He Dies, but the man who never reads lives only one. I don't know, it's kind of long. If you don't think there is magic in writing, you probably won't write anything magical. A book to read is not one that thinks for you, but one that makes you think. That's a good one. Huh. Books belong to their readers. Focus more on your desire. Oh, that's not it. Today a reader, tomorrow a leader. I think I want to use that quote, the one about the lives. Let's see. Oh, here's one from Stephen King. Description begins in the writer's imagination. It should finish in the reader's. That's cool. I try to leave out the parts that people skip. Let's find that one again. I can't find it. Sorry. I know this is getting long. Okay, so I think the quote is going to be, a reader lives 1,000 lives before, and I'm going to change it to she, and instead of man, I'm going to change it to girl. So I'm just going to grab probably a little Sharpie here, and then, I'm getting, I should have let that dry a little bit longer because I really don't want to. Let me just blot it and make sure everything here is dry so I'm not smudging it around. Yeah, I got actually a lot up on that. Surprising. Okay, I think I need to probably blot this just a little bit more. Yep, and now I have created some texture on another page. Okay, so it is A Reader Lives 1,000 Lives. A reader lives 1,000 lives before she dies. A girl who never reads lives only once. And so that's a quote, and it is by George R.R. Martin. I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is? I'm just going to write George Martin. And then I'm going to make like kind of a little Dear Allison. It has been amazing to see the transformation in you this year in terms of your newly found love of reading. I'm kind of smudging this. It's okay, because this is a doodly page, right? You even get up at 6 a.m. so you can get a little reading time in before school. And I just do Love Mom, January 2014. And so I still don't know what the title is going to be. Wish I could get suggestions. Let's see. So I have this. That's not helping as far as I want to have a title, and what I want to do is have kind of a title made of stickers and then some doodling over it. So let's do, these were some of the stickers that I pulled. Not completely committed to them. Here's another option for the letters. Let me do quotes about books. Hold on. Quotes about books. Just for inspiration for the title. Want to take better photos, stand in front of better things. Keep calm and read a book. Books make life even better. Read a book. I like big books and I cannot lie. Fill your house with stacks of books. In all the crannies and all the nooks by Dr. Seuss. Books aren't just made of words you know, they're also filled with places to visit and people to meet. Never judge a book by its movie. I don't really know what to write. I think I'll write like 4th grade book list. I don't know. I kind of want to read, just write reader or book reader. How about? So I think I'm going to use this font for reader, because I'll be able to have all of the letters be the same height. Let's see. Some of these placed. So today was a half day at school. And we're going to have one friend come over for the whole weekend, coming up in a couple of hours here. And I'm supposed to go to yoga this afternoon, but I'm not sure I'm up for it. So I might have to go on a walk. I'm trying to, that fits pretty well. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to move it. Okay. And I have a drawer full of stickers. I'm just going to put that back into the drawer. I do have, I have this font, which I think might look kind of good. I was going to say, yeah, I even have, I have a font in here that has a text to it. But I think that, well, the 2 O's are gone. Let's see. I could use a 0. scrapbook reader. Is that silly? It's kind of a silly title. Oh well. I'm going to go with it anyways. Okay, I'm not... I'm not totally thrilled with the title, but it's alright. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to put the other alphabets away and just call the title portion of the page done. I think I could mess with that a little more, but I just don't want to. These are just some transparencies that I think would just highlight her face a little bit more and give, these weren't on Ronnie's example, but I think I want to use these two transparencies. They're transparencies of Polaroids just to kind of highlight her. And I think they kind of give the doodling effect without actually having to write on the photos, because I think the photos are pretty, because my daughter is pretty, and I don't really want to completely destroy the photos, so I'm going to adhere them with washi tape, which is something that Ronnie did do. And this is by far my favorite washi tape. It's just a black and white chevron. Love it. And I think you could use some color in there, but oops, I should have put a little bit more on that. I'll put a little bit more in the bottom. Let me do that one again. The nice thing about washi tape is it's very easy to change your mind. That's almost too much. So this is way more mind changing than I usually do. Let me just do this one more time. There we go. Where did the edge go? Here we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm thinking that 4 strips of that same washi tape is going to be like a little overkill for me. So, and one thing I want to do is get the angle of those washi tapes the same, or pretty the same, you know, pretty much the same. So I'm going to put that one here. So I've got 3 of those washi tapes, and then I think I want to just use a different one above here. And I think maybe just, I have a black polka dot, so it's just like a little something different. I also thought about using, I've got a chevron that's in teal. I don't have a ton of washi tapes. I do have more washi tape than I have mist. I don't I'm not super thrilled with that, but let's try the black and white instead of the teal. Anyways, I'm thinking I'm going to skip yoga today because I had a late lunch. I picked my son up from school, and then we kind of didn't eat until 2 o'clock. And in Bikram yoga, it really matters what you eat. Okay, I think I like the black better. I don't know. Okay, let's check in with Ronnie's again. And one thing that she's got is she's got some doodled words, and she's got one here, but I haven't really left enough space for myself there, I don't think. So I could write her name this way, or I could write 4th grade, or I could write, like, she's got so awesome. Let's just see if I can write that in a pencil first. It's gonna go. Oh, I don't like that. So I would advise, instead of trying to copy someone else's handwriting, go with your own. So right then I was trying to copy it, and I don't really think it's as nice as if I would just do it myself. So I'm writing her name, and I've written it in pencil, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to now do it with a Sharpie. Whoops. I didn't go over my first A exactly, but it's okay because I'm going to keep going over and over it again. So it looks sketchy and doodly, like you might do in class. So I just want to keep going over this with different colors. Let's do another Sharpie. This is just like a teal colored Sharpie. And what I want to do is get it so it's not exactly on. I better keep these out because I want to use the same kind of doodling here in a couple of different places. Let's do another one with that purple. So I thought I was going to use the pencils. For this, I don't want to use the watercolor pencils. I just want to use a normal pencil. This looks just like a it's just a regular old, here's another colored pencil. This is also that purple that kind of reminds me of the mimeographs that we used to get when we were in grade school. So there's Allison, book reader, and then, let me just see if I can. So I'm kind of going over some of my writing here, but I'm doing a different kind of letter, but I want to do the same kind of treatment as what I did up here. So now I'm going to do the same block kind of letter. Move that over there after I use them. And then I almost want to make it look like almost like a little shadow. So I'm going to kind of edge off the bottom. So it kind of looks like a... So I'm not going around the whole letter. I'm just going like if the light were coming this way where the shadow would lie. Does that make sense? Nope. Okay, so that's love. I think I'm just gonna color that in with the pencil. Okay, so there's two different types of doodles. A doodle is begging to go over here, right? Trying to think of what to say, or which style I would like it to be in. I'm at a loss. Just trying to see if there's anything here that would do. I don't know. So I almost think just, sorry, I'm still coughing. It's so annoying. So I almost think just a star. Just a hand-drawn star. So I wanted it to be similar but different than the other two. So the similar part is I'm doing it in the same pens and pencils. And the different part is these two were words and this is a shape. So this was a script word, a block, like a blocked kind of a word, and then a shape. So I think that will make the doodling easy kind of to do, is to do 3 different types of things, but do them in the same, like kind of use the same technique for each one of them. Oops. I don't know if I just made that look horrible. I think it looks okay. It's alright. Okay, so can I be done with doodling? No. She's done, like, there's a whole lot of doodling on hers, and she's got like little hearts coming up from this. And so because I want this to be my visual triangle, I'm going to do the hearts, but I'm just going to do them like a little bit different. So these are just in that's just in pencil there. And I think I'll just add another couple hearts, like maybe here. I think I'm good on the hearts. Okay, pencils back and those back. And let's see, the other thing she's done is kind of gone around her frames, but I think I'm gonna, I don't know, I guess I could do just a little bit of that on, I almost think I need to pull up the washi, which I really don't want to do, but I think it'll, here we go, whoops. Doodling around the frames. I didn't pull it up that time. And what else can we do? One of the comments I made during the show was that I liked her page because it didn't have any kind of dimensional embellishments. Because I thought if you were, you know, doing a notebook doodly page at school, you wouldn't have that. So, yeah. But I think I like the idea of using some stickers just because I have them and they're cute. And why not? Let's see. No. That's no good. I thought that was going to be cute, and I don't think it was. Let's try these pins. No. You'd think that would be like a cute little motif for this page, but I don't think it is. Maybe none of these. Let's try one more thing. Maybe the pencil. I think the pencil could have gone into this space, but I'd need to move my title just a little bit, and my concern is that it's already pretty well stuck down. Just see if I can move book up just a tiny bit. So we have this joke, sort of this joke at Masterful Scrapbook Design is that, you know, when we do these like inspired by one of the layouts in the office hours, then it's a race, or actually it's no one's joke except mine, because I just think it's funny to try to get it up there as soon as possible. So this this pencil wasn't part of her or the original layout, but I just kind of, I don't know, I kind of like it in there. I want to use it. That's really my main reason for using it. And then I'm thinking, now I want to have maybe 2 other yellow places on the page. And so where I'm thinking those should go are maybe here. Let's see how this looks. Over that washi, and then maybe this little star here. Just to kind of draw your eye to her face a little bit more. And I think I'm done. Oh, that still took 47 minutes. So anyways, this is Katie Scott, and this is my scrap lift of Ronnie, Texas, and her doodling page. And if you would like to see it, go to either getitscrapped.com or to my Pinterest board. And I put it on my board called, let me see what I called it, on technique and sketching. So there you go. Ta-da! Thank you for watching. I'm Katie Scott, and my blog is called Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking. Talk to you later.